So I've been thinking about power, and it's interesting because I've been saying for years that I help women stop hiding in plain sight and step into their power. But I've never really studied the word power and what it means. We know how it feels, right? We know when we feel powerless. We know when we feel powerful, maybe. But I don't know that we always know how to tap into that power, that we always know that we are not always able to turn it on and off. I think sometimes I've thought of power as something that you can turn on, or switch off. And the more I look into power, the more I realize that maybe the whole point of our existence is to have enough power to turn our gifts into something that has impact. But the key word here is power. And I think specifically about the ladies, right? Because, my whole work has been with women. How powerless we feel often, and how much of our power we are told we need to dilute to be able to get into the rooms. Whether that's in corporate America and you have the answer, but you don't want to ruffle feathers. Whether that's Monique the actress, on a mission or has shown an example of what can happen if you use or misuse, and is it possible to misuse your power, and what that looks like. Whether that's the story of a woman who was too powerful and was left behind or was left out of a marriage. Whatever the stories are, I think I find the whole power thing very interesting and something for us to look at. I think of the story, I was sharing this with a client, of the story of Jesus with a woman with the issue of blood. And he said, and I'm paraphrasing, when she touched him, basically, power left me. Something happened. All these people that were touching him, he said, something left me, power left me. And I thought to myself, what would have happened if he didn't have enough power for it to even leave him? Because I have been in situations in my life where I felt powerless to the point that I didn't have enough power to power me, and definitely not enough power to give to somebody else. And so I think about, it is cute, and I understand why we tell girls, we don't say be less powerful, but in so many ways we say that. In so many ways we negotiate with our power. We are scared of it. We never fully tap into it. And then we wonder, why don't I have the staying power? Why don't I have the tenacity? Why don't I have what I need in order for me to take my dreams, my ideas, and turn it into a business? In order for me to start working out? In order for me to change the world and create impact? And I realized this morning in my time with God that what we are lacking is power. But power, real power, the type of power we're talking about, the type of power that we see at play, right? In others that we are like, I look up to you, you are #goal. That type of power, I believe, comes from the source, right? Has to be bigger than us, because you might be watching right now and there are things that are beyond your power. There are things and situations that you are being asked to do that are beyond your power. You may have gotten news around your health, around your finance, around something that you look at and it's beyond your power. You're like, Sandra, I don't got the power to pull this through. I don't have it in me. And so where do you get that power? Where do you get that confidence? Where do you get that energy to look at a mountain and tell it to move? And the only place that I can look at is God. And I wonder, and I think what I'm exploring in this season, and I wonder if you are too, is how do we tap into his divine power? How do we stay in alignment so that when he gives us a vision, a nudge, a dream, we have enough power to be able to push it through? Let's have the conversation. Let me know.